In last week's Parsha, we learned about Kedoshim to you, how to become a society that is holy. We learn about the laws that we have to follow in order to care about each other, in order to work together, as well as the values that we have to hold dear in order to become a society that is holy. Kedoshim to you. In this week's Parsha, we go to the next level. We start learning about how to make time kadosh, how to create a system of holidays that we make holy in order to give us the koach, in order to give us the energy, in order to continue throughout the year and use our time in the most maximized way. However, if you look at the holidays that are spoken about, the first one is not any of the famous holidays, such as Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkot, but rather we start off with Shabbat. Now, Shabbat is something we've spoken about many times throughout the Torah. Usually it's not within the spectrum of the holidays themselves. So why is it that when the Torah wants to teach us about holidays, it goes back and tells us about something we've already learned about? Shabbat. If you look closely, though, at the holidays that we speak about in this week's Parsha, you find that the word Shabbat comes over and over and over again. Many of the holidays are called Shabbat. Yom Kippur is called Shabbat Shabbaton. The word Shabbat throughout all of these holidays is actually a milah mancha, a key word that keeps on repeating itself. If you look even closer, you'll find that there's another key word, and that is the number 7, Shvi'i. Not just is Shabbat the 7th day, but also we have 7 weeks. The 7 weeks that we're counting right now, the 7 weeks of Sfirat Omer. And finally, when we reach the 7th of the 7th weeks, what were we going to come to? Shavuot. And not only do we have 7 weeks, but we also have the 7th month. The Chodesh HaShvi'i is the month that has packed with holidays. We have Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. So we have this number 7 that keeps on repeating itself. Why is it that we start with Shabbat, the 7th day? The holidays, we have the 7th week, which is Shavuot, as well as the 7th month, which we focus on as the month of holidays. What's with the number 7? If you think about all of our different types of time, we have days, weeks, months, years. All of those except for one actually make a lot of sense. Days is, how the sun goes, the world goes around, one revolve around itself. That's a day. Then we have months. What is months? That's when the moon goes around the earth once. And we have a year when the earth makes one orbit around the sun. All of those are natural phenomenons. However, there's one phenomenon, one unit of time that has no natural component, and that is weeks, the Shavuot. The only reason why we have 7 days is because the world's created in the 7 days. And God on the 7th day instilled a special day where He rested. A day which is not within the natural realm of time, but something above it. Shabbat comes to teach us the secret of 7. And the 7 weeks of the holidays teach us that this 7 also goes into our months and into our weeks. In the 7th month, and in next week's Parsha, we'll get into the 7th year, which is Shemitah. The number 7 teaches us something deep about time. Time has a natural phenomenon, but it also has a supernatural element to it as well. And that's what the number 7 comes to teach us. We cannot enter into the world of holidays before we understand Shabbat. Shabbat is how we instill Kedusha, something supernatural, something that has purpose, meaning, into the units of time. We instill that within weeks, within days, within weeks, within months, and next week's Parsha we're going to instill it into our years. Shabbat Shalom.